This video is about ontological abstraction and intuition over reason. Mapping the infinite in theology and metaphysics. Ontology, the study of being, is one of the oldest and most profound branches of philosophy. It asks, what does it mean to exist? What is the nature of reality? But in theological metaphysics, ontology is not just a question of what exists. It's a question of how existence itself unfolds from the infinite. To understand this, we must explore the concept of abstraction. 1. What is ontological abstraction? Abstraction is the process of distilling complexity into essence. In mathematics, abstraction allows us to define numbers, sets, and spaces without reference to physical objects. In theology, abstraction allows us to speak of God, soul, and eternity, concepts that transcend empirical observation. Ontological abstraction is the act of representing layers of reality through symbolic, conceptual, or mathematical forms. It's the bridge between the visible and the invisible, between the finite and the infinite. For example, when we speak of the soul, we are not referring to a measurable entity. We are abstracting a metaphysical presence, one that cannot be seen, but can be intuited. Likewise, when we speak of infinity, we are not counting endlessly. We are invoking a concept that defies containment. In this way, abstraction becomes the language of metaphysics. 2. The role of mathematics in ontological abstraction. Mathematics is often seen as the most precise language we have. But in metaphysics, it becomes a tool for expressing the ineffable. Take Cantor's set theory. He showed that there are different sizes of infinity, some countable, some uncountable. This wasn't just a mathematical breakthrough. It was an ontological revolution. Cantor's work allowed theologians and philosophers to speak of divine infinity with mathematical clarity. It gave structure to the idea that God is beyond time, beyond space, and beyond measure. In Islamic theology, for example, God is described as timeless and spaceless. The Quran speaks of 7 heavens, each a layer of reality. These layers can be modeled as nested sets, each abstracted from the one below. Thus, mathematics becomes a mirror of metaphysical structure. 3. The tree of reality, a symbol of ontological abstraction. One of the most powerful symbols in theology is the world tree, known in Islam as the Sidrat al-Muntaha. This tree is not botanical. It is metaphysical. Its roots lie in the flat plane of time. Its branches extend through dimensions. Its leaves shimmer with divine light. This tree is an abstraction of the cosmos. It represents the unfolding of being from the one into the many, from unity into multiplicity, from essence into existence. Each layer of the tree corresponds to a level of reality. The physical world, the world of souls, the world of angels, the divine realm. This model is not empirical. It is symbolic. But it follows a strict internal logic, one that mirrors mathematical structure. 4. Ontology as a map of consciousness. Ontological abstraction is not just about the universe. It's about the self. When we speak of levels of consciousness, we are abstracting states of awareness. We move from sensory perception to rational thought, from rationality to intuition, from intuition to revelation. Each level is a layer of being. Each transition is a metaphysical ascent. In this way, ontology becomes a map of the soul's journey, and abstraction becomes the compass. 5. The unity of being, from multiplicity to oneness. The ultimate goal of ontological abstraction is not complexity, it is unity. In theology, this is known as Wahdat al-Wujud, the unity of being. This doctrine teaches that all existence is a manifestation of the One. That every particle, every thought, every dimension is a reflection of divine essence. Abstraction allows us to trace this unity. It lets us see how the many emerge from the One, how the infinite becomes finite, and how the finite longs to return to the infinite. In this view, ontology is not just a theory. It is a path, a journey from separation to reunion, from form to essence, from abstraction to truth. Now let's dive into the next section of video. Intuition over reason, a journey beyond the limits of logic. In the realm of metaphysical theology, not all truths are reached by deduction. Some are glimpsed, sensed, felt. This is the domain of intuition, where knowledge arises not from argument, but from presence. 1. What is intuition in metaphysics? Intuition is not a vague feeling. It is a mode of knowing that bypasses linear reasoning. It is immediate, holistic, and often ineffable. In classical philosophy, reason is the tool of the intellect. It builds knowledge brick by brick. But intuition is the light that reveals the whole structure at once. In mystical traditions, Sufism, Neoplatonism, Vedanta, intuition is the highest faculty. It is the eye of the heart. It sees what the mind cannot grasp. 2. Why move beyond reason? Reason is powerful. It gives us science, mathematics, and philosophy. But it is limited by its own structure. Reason demands premises. It requires definitions. It moves step by step. But the truths of being, of God, soul, eternity, often lie beyond these steps. They are not conclusions. They are revelations. To reach them, one must leap. Not blindly, but within a vision. This is why metaphysical theology often favors symbol, metaphor, and image over syllogism. A tree glowing with divine light may reveal more than 100 proofs. A single prime number may evoke the mystery of unity more deeply than a treatise. 3. The role of symbolic intuition. Symbols are the language of intuition. They do not explain, they evoke. Consider the image of the circle. No beginning, no end, every point equidistant from the center. A perfect abstraction of divine unity, or the prime numbers, irreducible, foundational, scattered through the infinite like cosmic seeds. These are not just mathematical curiosities. They are intuitive metaphors for the structure of being. 4. Intuition as a method of knowing. In this framework, intuition is not irrational, it is transrational. It does not reject logic. It transcends it. It is the moment when the seeker, after years of study, suddenly understands without knowing how. It is the flash of insight that feels ancient and new at once. This is why metaphysical theology often uses paradox. God is both immanent and transcendent. The soul is both part of the world and beyond it. Time is both linear and cyclical. These are not contradictions. They are invitations to intuitive understanding. '5. The journey from reason to intuition. The path begins with reason. We study, analyze, compare. But eventually, reason reaches its limit. At that edge, intuition takes over. It does not destroy reason, it fulfills it. This is the moment of shuhud, witnessing. The seeker does not argue for truth, he sees it. In Islamic mysticism, this is the unveiling, kashf. In Christian mysticism, it is the beatific vision. In Hindu philosophy, it is jnana, pure knowledge. All point to the same truth, that the deepest realities are not proven. They are known.